Service and Sacrifice by American Veterans benefits today's youth. My grandfather was a World War II veteran, a member of what many people call the greatest generation. He was just an ordinary man who, like so many of his generation, dropped out of school and lied about their age so they could sign up to fight. He knew that he and his fellow soldiers were not fighting for the freedom of their own country, but for the freedom of so many innocent people around the world who had been attacked by evil tyrants. They did this because it was the right thing to do, like defending the little kid on the playground from the big bully, only on a much larger scale. He was just a small town boy from a town of about 2,000 people. He had never been out of his home state before. Yet, there he was, suddenly overseas in Hawaii. Yes, he was there when Pearl Harbor was bombed, and he said that the Japanese planes flew so low that you could see the pilots' faces. Can you imagine how scared they must have all been to be attacked like that on a quiet Sunday morning? It was a very long time before my grandfather talked about his Pearl Harbor experience, because he, like most of his generation, was very humble. He didn't think that he had done anything special. He was just an ordinary citizen doing his duty. Back then, you didn't brag about what you did. You just did it and went on. While I would like to tell you that I heard this story while sitting on my grandfather's knee as a little girl, I can't. You see, my grandfather died in a car accident 6 weeks before I was born. Everything that I know about him has been passed down from generation to generation, from my grandmother to my mother to me. Passed down just like the values that the members of the greatest generation exhibited: loyalty, service to God, flag, and country, courage, and sacrifice. Duty, honor, and country came first. Individual needs came later. When the World War II Memorial was dedicated in 2004, I knew that it was something that I wanted to be a part of. My family took my grandmother, and we went to the dedication. What an awesome and humbling experience it was to be in the presence of so many men and women that had fought and sacrificed so that freedom could reign. How wonderful it was to see their faces as the citizens of the United States expressed their gratitude for everything that generation had done. They had waited 60 years for their memorial, never complaining that other ones had come before theirs. Today's youth benefits from the values that have been instilled in them from this generation of veterans. In schools, we learn about December 7, 1941, and the overwhelming history that happened that day. We have learned about the sacrifice and the hardships that the soldiers, sailors, and citizens of Pearl Harbor endured. But from that, today's youth has also learned how a country can pull together after being knocked down. We've been taught that the only response is to get up, dust yourself off, and persevere.